today I'm going to share with you pretty much all of my secrets, and there's several of them, so hopefully we can get through all of it. And the Bass Times that's coming out during the February issue, I've got a lot written in it about it, but you're going to learn a lot more than what's written in that article today. So the great thing about a swim jig is, for one thing, we go to a lot of new waters in these tournaments, and you know, it's hard to really pick them apart. So it's easy to find a bait with a swim jig. It's easy to go out there and search for them because it's probably the fastest moving search bait possible, and you know, you can cover so much water. And that's really why I got into swim jig fishing. Was we're always forced to these new, you know, lakes and stuff, and just being able to search the bank, put your trolling motor on the highest speed you possibly can, and still get bites. The one thing that I think a lot of us overlook is you can never throw a bait faster, you know, with your retrieve on your reel. I don't care if you have a 7.3 to 1, then a fish can swim and eat it. And I've proven that at Lake Darnell. And now what I do with this bait right here, this is usually something I fish in dirty water, lily pad stems, hydrilla clumps. If you ever watch like a bass attack a bait fish in nature, if a bait fish is just kind of swimming like in a school, they may not chase it, but as soon as one kind of flicks off to the side or there's something that goes on abnormal, it just creates an aggressive reaction out of the bass. And so if you can get this thing going like into grass and then burn it as soon as it hits the clump, make it look like it's retreating into that grass, something awesome is going to happen. I mean, they're going to come up and just come out of nowhere and crash it. And I get most of my strikes kind of getting this thing going pretty fast, and as soon as I see something, whether it's a lay down or whatever it is, I crash it into it, and that's when they eat it. And you just sit there and you shake it on the surface, and it's really neat. I mean, they come up and grab it. But I like the black on the back of this jig because it's more of a silhouette when it's on the surface like that. And it's like throwing a frog. I get more bites with a black frog than I do with a white one. I mean, I usually get bigger fish on a white frog, but if I'm gonna go to a new lake I've never been to, I'm always gonna go black first. So the green pumpkin just kind of blends in with the grass a little bit, but also gives a little bit of extra flair and kind of looks like a camouflage bait fish. So I'm gonna pass this around. This has got a little rage crawl on the back of it. Rage crawl chunk, if you want to just pass that around. And that's an 1/8 ounce swim jig. So when you're fishing on the surface, that's the size you want. Don't ever go any heavier. If you're gonna be literally working like you would a frog, but you gotta hold your rod up, and it's really good for short pitches. And the key is not to use your trolling motor a whole lot. Just kind of go real slow. So this is the slowest way I'd ever fish a swim jig, but it's usually isolated little clumps of grass.
Hey, I'm Pete Gluzek.
And I'm Mike Iaconelli.
And this is Bass University TV.
Welcome to Bass University TV, an online video training course where you'll learn champion bass fishing techniques from pro anglers Pete Gluzek, Mike Iaconelli, and their talented special guests.
Everywhere I go in the country, I'm trying to use these techniques because I catch big fish that way.
From on the water to in the classroom.
We want to use that bait to help make that area even smaller and really, really find that sweet spot.
You'll learn sound techniques and strong fundamental bass fishing skills.
You want something that's got a nice limber action, that's going to allow you to build pressure and keep those hooks pinned against that fish's mouth.
Watch hours of video content on multiple topics at your own pace for a low monthly fee. Cancel at any time.
Hold on, because you're going to catch some big fish.
Information is power in the sport of fishing, so learn from the very best.
That's a key theory in all of fishing.
Subscribe to Bass University TV today.
Man, does it trigger a lot of strikes.
Here's the part that you're not going to hear anywhere else. This is the Bass University TV exclusive.